Hi guys, this is Ravenclaw What If. Welcome back to another What If story. This is a redo of my What If Deku is Joker's son. I just changed the title. This What If is going to be from now on be called What If Deku was Harley Quinn's son. Now let's get down to his quirk so we get this out of the way before we continue on the story. This is another DC Hero Academia combined universe crossover. Okay, now Izuku, his quirk name is called Reaper Claw, as he's able to morph his hand into some sort of black metallic metal. It's very strong and durable. Not only that, but his quirk gives him a physical boost when it comes to strength, agility, speed, and it has a he also has regeneration, a very decent regeneration. If he trained it, it could be quite powerful. And the ship for this series is going to be All for One's daughter, Yuri. So it's Deku X Yuri ship for this. As you have the Joker and Batman fighting, as Joker knows that he's not going to win this, so he used Harley as a diversion. As he tosses her, as he pushes her off the building, as Joker, gives a I know, like I don't know, gesture, as he's walks away. As Batman had no choice but to save Harleen, as she's beginning to fall, as Batman had enough time to catch her, but not enough time to use his grappling hook. As immediately he cushions the fall as they hit a parked car, as it shatters. The metal's bent. The glass goes everywhere. It's majority of the glass is inside is piercing Batman's back. Batman did make sure Harleen was taken to hospital as he flies off to hunt down the Joker. As we cut to as she's been in a coma for about a couple days. As Harleen finally wakes up as she sees Ivy at her bedside. As as Ivy calls in the doctor as she notifies Harleen's gained consciousness. As the doctor walks in, Miss Harleen, you have a you were fortunate. You have a couple bruised ribs. Your arm was almost broken, but the baby should be fine. As Harleen, what do you mean, baby? Well, this is kind of embarrassing, ma'am. You are, according to what we found when we checked your vitals, that you're carrying a baby. The morning sickness hasn't kicked in, but it most likely will in a couple days. Congratulations, Miss Harleen. You're going to be a mom. Oh, no, not again. As she looks at Poison Ivy, she doesn't know what to do. Regardless of what you decide, Harleen, I have your back. I always have your back. Thank you, Red. I really appreciate it. As Harleen moved in with Poison Ivy, as their friendship got closer. They're pretty much best friends by now. By the time she starts showing, During this, during the time of pregnancy, she finally, figured out that Joker, her puddin, don't care about her. This was the last straw for her, as she broke all ties with the Joker, as she's afraid of if he finds out that he has another kid, what he's going to do. She doesn't want the Joker to corrupt him like he corrupted her. As Harley Quinn finally gave birth to Izuku, as she's in the hospital with Ivy, as she's giving the birthing process of giving birth to Izuku. As the moment that she finally gave birth to Izuku, as she noticed the green eyes and green hair, as smoke starts coming out of the ventilation staff shaft. Sorry. As smoke starts coming out, as everyone starts to get woozy, as Harley noticed a couple people are passing out. As you see a woman wearing a nurse outfit walking down the hospital hallway, wearing a mask. As she stops at the baby station where they keep all the newborns. No, that won't do. None of them, caught my eye. Fan out. Find all the newborns. Bring them to me. While I search around this section of the hospital. As Harleen sees the door get smashed open with the hammer, Dollhouse is carrying. As immediately she tilts her head the moment she saw Izuku with the green eyes, with the green hair. Pretty. I think I'll take him. As Harleen, ooh, you stay away. You're not taking my son. I don't think you have much of a choice, Miss Harleen. That boy is mine. As when Poison Ivy is about to attack Dollhouse, as she slams her hammer into Poison Ivy, she goes flying into the wall. This will help you sleep. As she jacks up and into the Ivy, she's like, "I'll find you for this." As she waves goodbye, as Harleen falls unconscious, as Dollhouse picks up Izuku. Short pause. I need to explain this family if you're not familiar with Dollmaker. He was part of the original of this series, but his daughter is the main focus of this right now. After Dollmaker's death, her father, she took up his work for killing people and making the dolls and selling the organs on the black market. Their family is well known for organ harvesting. That's what they do. That's what their family business, and they're they're a pretty messed up family. They're a bunch of serial killers, and apparently they're all cannibals. So yeah, this is going to be a lot more darker than my normal stuff. So let's continue on. As Dollmaker left the hospital without a trace. Dollhouse left the hospital without a trace. As we go a bit of a time skip. The moment Izuku is able to comprehend stuff, she begins teaching him by killing people in front of him and making him watch. He does this for several years. The moment when one of her victims broke free, as he was trying to strangle Izuku, as that's when his quirk activated, as he slams his claws into the man's chest, piercing his heart as Izuku's freaking out, breathing heavy. As Dollhouse has a smile under her mask. As she bends down. That's my dear boy. And very good, my dear boy. Very good. What do we have here? As she expects his hands. Amazing. I knew you were special, my dear Izuku. You're more than special than I realize. As since that moment, she made Izuku take a more active role in the kidnapping of and turning people into dolls. As Dollhouse likes to recreate living dolls in. Yeah, she's pretty messed up. She likes to make people out of living dolls. As Izuku has been. He's been doing this as. He's been taking a more active role ever since his quirk manifest at the age of 6. As Izuku started taking body parts off of each victim, as he started collecting eyeballs from his victims and replacing them with plastic eyes, doll eyes. As he places the doll eyes back into the body, as he leaves them like that for cops to find. As you have Izuku, as he's cleaning the tools, as Dollhouse walks in. There you are, my dear. I see you've been busy. Hello, mother. Yes, there's a couple in the other room waiting for my specific attention, mother. Now, dear, don't play with your toys too long. Remember, dinner will be ready in about 30 minutes. Very well, mother. What are we having? I think we're having that cop tonight. Very well. I won't be long. As Izuku picks up as the tray of weapons, so basically knives and cutting tools. It's on some sort of moving tray, basically what it is. As he's wheeling it, as he enters the room, as he sees 2 men tied to a chair. As the men's screaming at Izuku, "What's going on? Let us go." As it's I really don't need 2 of you, so I'll give you guys a fighting chance. As Izuku throws a knife on the ground, I will have you unbind. And it'll be up to you to decide who wants to live more. Only one of you could leave this room alive. As he unbinds them, as Izuku leaves the room. As he goes into it's a, what's it called? A two-way mirror at the manor. As Izuku these 2 men are part of 2 different groups. One is one of Penguin's men, and the other is Two-Face's, one of Two-Face's goons. As the struggle begins, the Two-Face, as the as the men slit the other guy's throat, as the one of Penguin goons falls dead. I did what you said. You said I would leave here alive. I did, didn't I? As Izuku presses a button, as gas starts to fill the room. Nighty night. You said you'd let me live. I did. As Izuku walks through the door, but I never said what condition you would be in. You're gonna be my finest work yet. I have some special plans for you. You two, prep him for surgery immediately. As the puppet nods, that's under, Dollhouse's control. And Dollhouse has a bunch of children brainwashed. So yeah, this is pretty messed up scene as they pull Izuku's play toy into his laboratory. Good, you're awake. I don't want you to miss every process of your, give me a second, of your ascension. Don't be sad. You're about to be reborn into something new. Crazy kid, you're a monster. I've been called many things. Monster? You might be right. Matters not. Izuku has a green liquid in a needle as he jacks it into the man's veins. What the hell is that? Nothing. It's to dull the pain a little bit. I'm a lot of things, but I'm not a demon. Not totally evil. I'm just above the curve. As Izuku begins slicing and dicing him, as the man's watching him take out his organs, as he's keeping him alive. As this injection he gave him, as he's paralyzed, he can't speak, can't move, but he could feel everything. He dumbed the pain a little bit, but Izuku's not gonna. He doesn't feel sorry for him whatsoever. 15 minutes later, as you have Izuku morphed his hands into his claws, as he stuck his two claw fingers into the man's skull, eye socket, as he scoops out the eyes, as he puts them in a jar. As he takes out a container, it's a bunch of doll eyes, as he begins to implant the doll eyes into him. And he had someone take him, as Izuku had him taken. He had someone put him in a car, drive him into the city, and leave him off in the middle of the road. As eventually the man, gained consciousness as he's walking blindly through the road, through the Gotham City. Yeah, dude's walking blind because his eyes don't see because Izuku took him. He normally kills them, but this one he wanted to see what happens, how much panic if he was found, if one of his little projects was found. Izuku was wearing a mask the whole time, as Dollhouse made it perfectly clear that he must have his mask on at all times, only when they're eating to take the mask off. But outside that, the mask stays on. As Dollhouse and Izuku sit down to eat, as Izuku is, well, grew up eating human meat. It's what how he knows is normal. That's how he was raised. She first slowly started him to kill animals. Then she had to move up to humans. Then he's been taking a more active role. Like I said, he's been taking a more active role in the kidnapping and in the process of what her father taught her, and she taught Izuku. As as the lights cut off, as Izuku puts his mask back on, as he gets up, as he picks up a knife. Izuku, this is his first time coming to face with the Bat. As Dollhouse says, Batman, what brings you to my lovely home? Would you like to have some tea with us? It's me and my son. I'm going to have to decline that offer. I'm taking you in. You and your boy. Your reign of terror ends here now. I don't think so, Mr. Bat. Mr. Bats. Children, attack. As all the children are under her control and all the puppets she's made out of people, comes attack Batman. Izuku rushes over to Batman, grabs him by the arm as he throws him against the wall. As that took him by surprise. As Izuku cracks his neck. No, actually, he doesn't do that. As Izuku, tilts his head to the side, looks at Batman as he gestures him to get up. Batman rushes over to Izuku as he has no choice but to attack. As Izuku just sits there and looks at him, looks at his body as he looks at Batman. He looks at Batman himself as he puts his fingers up to his face as he shakes it back and forth as gesturing, no, 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 no. As Izuku grabs Batman by the collar as he throws him out the window. As you have Batman on the ground, on the pavement, as he sees Izuku on top, staring down upon him. He jumps down as he lands on his feet gracefully. As Izuku calmly walks towards Batman. As he pulls out a knife. Immediately, Izuku kicks Batman into a tree. When he was about to stab Batman, as something got wrapped around his hand, his stabbing hand. As he looks up, as he sees Catwoman, as she's been tracking down Dollhouse because of Dollhouse targeting working girls on the street. As Batman and Catwoman teamed up on this. Kid, that's quite enough. Surrender. I don't want to have to hurt you, kid. As Izuku shakes his head. As Izuku battles Catwoman as she moves around a lot. As he can't get a decent hit off her. As he's throwing knives at her. As she's dodging it gracefully. As she hit a couple of knives with her whip, knocking him out of the air. As about this time, Batman got behind Izuku, pulled his mask off, and gave him some knockout spray as Izuku falls to the ground. His Dollhouse, yeah, she took off. She wasn't going to get caught. She told him, well, Izuku gave her enough time to escape. As he's thinking that's his real mother, so he's going to try to protect her as much as possible. As Batman didn't take the mask fully off, but he took enough of it off for to spray the stuff inside Izuku's face. So as Batman, handcuffs Izuku, puts him in Batmobile as he drives off. As Catwoman searches for a dollhouse. As Batman's gonna drop Ezekiel off, as he's going straightly to Arkham. Oh no, he drove Ezekiel to Gotham PD, and they transfer they're and as they're going to transfer Ezekiel to off to Arkham as he's labeled pretty crazy. So off to Arkham he goes. Ezekiel's about 14. I probably didn't mention his age about currently in the story as he's about 13 or 14 years old as he's in the transport vehicle to heading to Arkham. The guard behind Ezekiel put chloroform in the rag as they knock him out for the car ride. As Ezekiel wakes up in a white room. Oh, my head hurts. As he wakes up in a white room, as his head has a splitting headache, and it felt like someone dig into his brain. Here's a woman's voice over the intercom. Well, our sleeping princess finally awoken. You might notice some discomfort in your head. I have placed a charge. I could, set off at any time I want. Now listen here, kid. You're gonna do what I say, and you might live. Who are you? Name's Waller. And you, my boy, are the newest member of the Suicide Squad. Keeping an eye on your activities. Gruesome they may be, impressive. And not including that you have a quirk. That we could use. Our country could use. You officially have been drafted, my boy. Welcome to your new life. As long as you behave, I won't make your brain go explode. Your head won't go boom. Do we get each other? Crystal, ma'am. Good. Want my mask? Stand against the far wall. As some people come in, as they put the mask in the middle of the ground, as Ezekiel sees the men go out of the room, as he puts the mask on. From now on, from today on forward, your code name will be Grim. As the door opens, follow the pathway to meet your comrades, your team. Well, the rest of your team. Of Commander Waller, and as she's watching civilian footage of Batman and Izuku fighting. As she knows the boy is powerful, physically wise. She wondered why he didn't use his quirk, his claws. She knows she has him. She knows she has the claws. She's been watching Izuku for quite a bit of time. He showed promise for future recruit. Now we're probably going to stop it there because I don't know who. Okay, I'll put in the pool of what Izuku's team is going to be included from. A bunch of villains and stuff like that. So so it's basically the Suicide Squad. What I'm doing here. So I'll put a pull up for what members, because I'm gonna put Okay, so there are only gonna be 3 extra people for the team because this is gonna be a team of 4. So 3 characters who you want to see on the Suicide Squad. I'll put it on the community tab, so for you guys to pick who you want. Okay, the only rule I will set in place is that it has to be a villain, a DC villain, or a anti-hero. Okay, guys, I'll catch you in the next video.